Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to set a Ticket Auction Manager up in remote server mode. So this is I'll link to this on my in the video description. But this is the repo for Ticket Auction Manager. It's for benefit auctions. So if you're managing an in-person benefit auction, such as like a Chinese auction or another sort of ticket item auction, where people buy tickets and put them in baskets for each item, and then each item gets shuffled and drawn for. You can use this system to help manage that, so then it makes it a little bit easier to do. You still need physical tickets, stuff like that, the old-fashioned way in that regard, but this just makes compiling everyone's names and phone numbers for the winners easier and quicker. So yeah, the repo is here, github.com/dbob16 slash TAM3. For this to work, you do need to have Docker installed, Docker on the client, and Docker Compose on the server. So you'd go to this guide, and for whatever distribution you're using, you would follow those guides and get Docker installed before you start messing with installing a Ticket Auction Manager. So for the purposes of this video, we're just going to use the releases section. So I'm clicking the main or the latest version in the releases section on the side of the repo. I got two tabs set up. This is my server, and then this is my client. So we're going to start with the server side. I'll try to do titles and bookmarks, so then you can skip ahead if you want to. For this video, I'm going to use a secure one. The secure one just uses HTTPS. So in the folder I keep my Docker Compose stacks. I'm going to make the directory for TAM3, and I'm going to cd into it. Now we're going to download that file that I just copied the link for using WGET and space Control-Shift-V, then press enter, and now it downloads that file. Now we're going to tar space -x VZF. Stands for extract verbose, so that it prints out what it's doing. Z for zipped, to specify that it's a zip file, and F to specify that it's a file. Now we're going to do space, then put a couple letters of it in there, and then press tab, and it's going to complete it for us. Now we can remove that file since we shouldn't need it anymore. Now we're going to start the server with /start server, and it's going to ask us a few things. We'll just give it some answers. The ones with a blank set of square brackets, you don't really have to put anything in there. So now that creates the stack, and now we can generate a key for the client. You should generate a key for each client you anticipate using. So we're going to use the generate key script. And that's going to generate a key. If you do something like this and lose track of them before you can copy them, if you use the list keys script, it lists the keys. Oh, I only did the first word there. So yeah, do dashes instead of spaces. So now we can just highlight it and then Control-Shift-C to copy it. So we have that for later. But that's the server. Once you get all the keys you need for each client, the server's done, so we're moving on to this. So on the client side, I would recommend doing things in like a sudo -s. Uh, that keeps things in a separate like user, and that way somebody can't just jump on the computer and then just copy API keys or the settings file, stuff like that. So we're going to just do CD, then press enter, and that's going to put us into the /root directory. Then I'm going to make a directory for the TAM3 web client. But you can name this what you want as well. And now we're going to go back to the releases page here, and now we're going to grab the web client full. WGET again, this is going to seem familiar. Control-Shift-V, that's going to paste it. And now we're going to extract it as well. So tar space -x VZF, as explained before. Tab autocomplete that. Now we can remove that. Because we shouldn't need that. Now we have the other 3 files. Now we're going to do /client load, and then we're going to do /client launch. It's going to ask if we want to connect to a remote server. Give it a short venue name. Give it the server. If you're doing this on just a standalone client, you can just do N for the first one. I'm just doing it because it will automatically set things up for us. So https:// the IP address in relation to the client. Then by default it's port 8443, so you specify that using a colon. And now we're going to bring up the clipboard history and then grab that API key and then paste that in. Make sure it doesn't have like a enter or anything in front of it. Oops. So now it created the container, and when you go to that URL, it'll now say remote connection successful, so we succeeded in that, but you don't have any prefixes. So we'll fix that by doing Alt-A, then going into prefix editor, and we'll make some prefixes for it. So what I did was I just gave it each one a name, changed the color for the second one. Then the weight determines how far up or down or to the right it goes on the main screen. And I clicked save /update here. Then it's successful when it puts them down here near the bottom. Now if we click refresh here, it should refresh, but with the full application available since there's prefixes now. There's a few things to pay attention to. Most of the time we're going to be using the tickets, then the drawing form, then the reports. So the tickets are, you specify on each page the starting and the ending number. So I'll just use the print sheets feature to demonstrate. I go until 1100, and click load and print. These are typically how sheets would look. As you can see, 20 per page, so you can usually count on about the same being on each page, or as far as the amount of them. So if somebody hands you like the first sheet of this batch on the regular ticket entry, you can put 1001 to 1020 on there. Then you can start entering names and numbers. With any field selected, you can use the buttons up here, or you can use the shortcut keys that correspond to them. So for instance, Alt L goes down to the next one without changing it. Alt O goes up to the goes up without changing it. Alt J duplicates down. Alt U duplicates up. Once you're done with a sheet, you can click Save All in any entry that got changed to Y, which should change automatically as you edit stuff. Will get saved. If there's one item that you don't want saved, you can click on it and it'll change it to an N. So when you hit save, it won't actually save that item, as you can see. So now, since I clicked it to Y, then hit save, it saved that last item. Now the drawing form goes by basket number. So we'll just do 1 to 20 for now. Then when you put a winning number in, press tab, it brings the winner right in. And then same thing, hit save all. And now items will actually show up on reports. So you have those entries on there. It also, you can filter by who prefers calls and who prefers text. And the same thing for basket ID. It sorts by basket ID instead of name. The other form that you might not use often unless you want to give your baskets descriptions is a baskets form. And this allows you to give baskets descriptions. So for instance, you can put a description donors in for each basket. And if you change it later on, it shouldn't affect your winners at all. So those are still on there. The other features you may not use as often is the one that I showed off as a print sheets. So if you need to print sheets for ticket sellers mid-event, this application's available. It's built right in to the whole application here. The counts page, this shows you the counts of ticket buyers. If you do Alt A again, you also have the search tickets function. So you can search by partial, and it'll show you everything, or you can specify uh, as fine grained as you want. And it'll go that way too. This gives you an avenue to edit as well. So if somebody comes to you and like, hey, I gave you the wrong phone number, you can go and you can search and you can change your phone number here. So that gives you that option to be able to do that. Backup restore, that's how you back up and restore stuff. So you can either back up local only. So each client keeps its own database copy as well. So since we ran this in root, I'll go back to the /root directory here. Then we'll cd into config, then TAM3, and cd into data. You can see that there's two files in this data folder, and this local DB is a local copy of the tickets, the basket, and the baskets, as well as the prefixes. So that allows you to, if your server gets messed up for some reason, you can redo it, or you can do it on a different computer if it completely breaks down. Then you can go to each computer, download the local backup, and upload it again, and then they'll put it on the server as well. So that's how you can do that. On the settings, so if you mess up your settings for your remote server, or you want to add or remove a remote server later, you can do that here as well. And so for instance, if I clear all that out, it'll operate in offline mode now. And as you can see, it'll operate against this local database, so the data is still there, at least the data that was entered on this computer. But keep in mind, if you still have files, if you don't clear them out, so if you don't clear these two files out after or when you redo it, the data will still be in there, and you'll have to change the settings for the remote server in here. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But I guess that'll be it for this video. Already ran on for longer than I wanted to, but this time during the video it had a couple more features. So it's more content than I'm used to for making a video such as this. So I guess I'll see you in the next one.